Hi guys, I'm Bianca.
And I'm Byron, and this is
Cory.
Featuring
Welcome
Cory.
to the Self-Made Book Channel. So today we have a question from our guest, Cory.
Not guest.
Oh, he's not a guest. He's a guest today.
Okay, he's a guest on the show.
But okay, he's in our team, so our wonderful team member, Cory. But he's a guest right now on the show. So Cory, what's the question?
What type of education do you need to become an entrepreneur?
Okay, what type of
You want me to go
education
first?
needs to be an entrepreneur? Yeah, go on then, fine.
Okay, so that was my brain thinking, guys. Sorry.
But you kind of offered to go first, but weren't ready. It's a bit weird.
It doesn't matter, if you want to go first.
No, listen, go for it.
So, I'm going to answer by not answering almost.
Oh.
So, what education do you need to be an entrepreneur? If you're talking about, first of all, education in the sense of going to school and studying, I would say that if you think about how the education system is set up, it gears you up as it stands for only one thing, which is going into employment.
Yeah.
It doesn't gear you to be an entrepreneur and to be entrepreneurial.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you study business studies, if you study graphic, it gears you up so that you meet employers, you become a graduate,
Yeah.
you go onto a graduate program, and you have a career in an organization. You prepare your CV and all of these other things. It doesn't prepare you perhaps to be, if you're a graphic designer, doesn't prepare you to be an independent graphic designer or anything, and all these other things. And I don't think
In the most part.
in my experience and from my understanding.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So unless there's some courses out there that even when they teach you to be a hairdresser or an accountant or anything like that, right? Any of these skill-based roles which we do speak about sometimes, that you need a degree for, it's essential you need a degree for, like being an accountant, being a doctor. It's never based on you being going and being an entrepreneur and doing it yourself. It's always based on, from my understanding and from what I see and from what I've experienced, you going out and getting a job, right? So your question is almost flawed to me because I don't think this education system sets you up or gears you up to be an entrepreneur. So have you experienced a course or seen a course out there, Cory, that allows you
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Because I think that's the case if you look at like a business and economics degree, or when I did like business at A-levels, business and economics at university, and I would agree with you
Snap.
I would agree with you from like a university college perspective, A-level perspective, whatever. However, when I did a styling course, it was a short course, but I did a styling course at the London College of Fashion.
So extracurricular.
But it's still education, right?
Okay.
Or is it training? Are you not going to call it
That's
training?
what I'm trying to understand.
Okay, fine.
Because extracurricular training is a different ball game.
But
So maybe
at
I need
university, aren't there courses now in entrepreneurship?
No.
Yeah, there is. I would probably bet though, but much like my business degree is probably just telling you the background, like the history of entrepreneurship. Like you probably do some case studies on how to be an entrepreneur.
Maybe we'd have to speak to a couple of students who study the entrepreneurship.
So I think there is an entrepreneurship course now, and there are. But anyway, what's your point to Cory?
So the entrepreneurship course is being taught by people who have never run.
I can't.
Being a lecturer.
I can't agree or
potentially.
decline that scenario.
Interesting.
I think potentially yes, they are lecturers who may not have ever run a business. Potentially.
Interesting.
But they might be getting
I'm
some of the
gonna
top business
actually
schools.
do some research.
I bet some of the top business schools bring in. I hope. Rather, some of the top business schools bring in some real life entrepreneurs.
I'm going to actually do some research on it. I would like to know. I'd like to know. Just use this SHI.
Yeah.
And I just like to know stuff. So I'm going to find out.
So Cory, did you mean educate? What did you mean by education? Did you
further
mean,
edge or studying
like
in uni?
proper education, like the government, like education systems type education?
I was trying to be a little bit more like general, so like learning of any kind which helped you guys benefit when you became entrepreneurs. I guess is my question.
Yeah, because you can do personal development courses, you can do specific training to help
But
you in
you're
your
still entrepreneurship, I guess.
So it's like,
And you guys specifically.
I didn't personally do any courses that I feel have helped me from an entrepreneurial perspective. I would say that styling course I went to, it was quite good in that not only did they teach you about styling, but they also taught you about pricing. But really, they gave you a brief introduction and tried to make you go on course number 2 to get the real insights on how to actually do how to price and stuff. And I can only imagine, or I hope, that course number 2 had marketing and so on, but I wasn't interested in that. I just wanted to know the basics, so that I knew when my stylists were giving me correct information or not.
Sure.
So that's why I did it, just for kind of my own personal learning for the business. But yeah, I think there are courses out there that probably tell you how much to charge and so on. I question whether they tell you how to market though. Marketing and... But then, so in answer to your question, can education teach you how to be an entrepreneur? I think it can teach you certain elements of being a successful business owner and how to be entrepreneurial and how to change your mindset. Because I think that's what we do in our masterminds. I think we teach people about the different mechanisms to make their business successful. We talk about mindset. We push them to set goals, and I think those are all things that businesses need. So yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're talking about further education, then I would agree that there are going to be courses out there that will help you, especially if you kind of have an idea on what direction you want to go in or what you want to do. Of course, it's going to help you. I don't know if it's going to make you entrepreneurial.
But okay, so now that leads to the second question then: are entrepreneurs born, or can they be taught to be entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think there's an element of it, and a large portion of it that is just in your bones, in your blood, in your mindset, in your DNA. And I think there is an element of it that can be born, because I think it can be taught. So I think if I had to say, I'm not going to say it's just a blanket approach, because there are some people that don't have an entrepreneurial kind of, spirit in them to start with, but they've been around the right people, or the right opportunity just comes.
They just have the right idea.
And they have the right idea.
Yeah.
And they do an amazing job of it. And kudos to them. So,
but I wonder if they would call themselves entrepreneurs, because if you think about like an inventor, say like a Dyson, for example. So he obviously is an inventor, and it took him, to his 50s to invent something that was as saleable as the Dyson vacuum cleaner is. But I wonder if he would call himself, he's probably now maybe an entrepreneur, but I wonder if he would have called himself that, or if he was just an inventor that happened to become a business owner, that happened to be the richest man in the UK. Like, what's the...
Yeah. You'll have to ask him. Maybe we should... What's his name?
I don't know his name. I know his wife's name. Does that help?
How do you know his wife's name and not his name?
Because I am a activist.
Is she
an advocate for women.
Well done, you.
Thank you. No, because my dad knows her.
Okay.
And talks about.
Is she now an entrepreneur, or an entrepreneur?
She has a brand, I believe.
Would you know what it is?
Or
what industry?
I think it's rugs. I think you saw them when we went to the that event that time, the luxury cave event.
Yeah.
I
bet there's some like 20k rugs.
And the rest.
Wow.
They're pieces of art. They're to be stepped on, but not. I don't know.
Oh! I think I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you buy a rug for 20k, Cory?
No.
Why not?
That was quick. Why not, Cory?
It wouldn't be within my budget.
If you could afford it.
Probably not. How good can that rug be?
What if it was like, it's like hand sewn by, someone with very nimble fingers?
I don't know.
That kind of, no?
That's a very expensive rug.
It's an expensive rug. Can you imagine people come over and they take their shoes off and just want to put their toes in your rug? Like, what are you doing?
A good rug is nice. And good carpet is nice.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with that. Not 20k. Would you say 20k rug though?
Yeah, but it's all relative.
It's all relative.
Isn't it?
Yeah. What is that?
It's better than the tax man getting all of it. You might as well spend it and put a 20k rug in your office.
Well, Cory, last words from you, sir. What do you think about education and entrepreneurship?
And you tell us what you think. Can you learn it?
I think maybe my question was worded a bit wrong. So.
Oh, great, thanks.
No, only slightly. So, by education, I mean like the whole learning process. Obviously, you know, as entrepreneurs, you guys have learned on the job. But then with that, what sort of things did you actually have to go out of your way to learn in order to make yourself more entrepreneurial? Does that help my question?
Okay.
But then you've obviously answered it as well, Bianca.
Yeah. So yeah, there are things I went out of my way to learn. Just so I feel like as a business owner, you kind of have to have done, not it all, but you kind of have to understand the processes for most things. And so like doing the styling course was not necessarily because I wanted to be out doing the styling, but I wanted to understand the mindset and what's expected, so I could create the packages, I can market them, make them saleable, then recruit people to deliver the service. So there are times in business where you can learn as you go by just just trial and error, but there are places you can go to get the expertise you need so you can shortcut that process and save money. So I think there's definitely ways you can get the education and knowledge you need, from whether that's mentorship and learning from mentors, whether that's like having an entrepreneur community, networking. I think also when I first started out, I did a lot of networking. Like I went to lots of events and spoke to lots of people and tried to really understand and dissect how I would get to the how I would get to the corporate world. How would I be able to get to the clients? How would I get my first client? How would I get my second? So yeah, I think there is an element of education throughout the process. Byron? Same. You just learn on the go, how?
Yeah, you learn on the job. And I don't think there is, from my understanding and from what I see out there isn't much training out there for entrepreneurs, by entrepreneurs. And one of the things
Unlike
that...
us. Sorry?
Unlike us, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things that will be a bit controversial, but what do I care?
Say it anyway.
I'll say it anyway.
Say it with your chest.
Always do. And I would say, and I'd love to have a conversation with some people actually. I see so many coaches.
Oh, this is controversial. Feel it coming, Cory. Can you feel it coming? No, go on.
I see
No.
so many coaches.
Business coaches.
Want to coach entrepreneurs. And some of them ask me to do consultation for them, but they are coaching other entrepreneurs and they've never had a day's worth of entrepreneurship in their life, other than coaching other entrepreneurs. So I just find it really interesting, and some of them make a lot of money, I must add as well. Like some of them, you know, their marketing is good. And I still sometimes struggle. So if there's any coaches out there that target market is entrepreneurs and businesses, I really want to understand, or maybe I don't understand, maybe I need re-educating on what you guys are teaching people,
But I don't think that's unlike when you go to university and you get taught business by a lecturer who hasn't necessarily had their own business.
Yeah, but it's different. They're just teaching you theory.
Okay,
and
fine.
to be fair,
So you're talking about coaches who never had
when I
business.
look back at my university course and I look back at some of the things, my modules, as I've mentioned previously, like there's like 0.0 things that are relevant to me as an entrepreneur. And when you actually look for it, because you don't always plan. You don't when you're studying, you're not planning on. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna take this forward for a career and so on. To be an entrepreneur. Sorry, you're looking at going into a career. I'd love to know
how many people out of my university year and yours ended up starting a business. How many people do you know from your course? I don't really know many. I only know about 5.
I know a handful. Everyone's got a job. Yeah.
Me too.
So maybe it's the system is correct then, maybe.
Yeah.
But had I had the choice, I would have done that course you're referring to.
Entrepreneur course.
The entrepreneur course, yeah. Because I always had that entrepreneurial spirit from school.
And that's what you thought you'd get from the business course.
Yeah, you thought, because I'm interested in business, and I thought, yeah, let's do a business course. No, incorrect. So anyway, coaches out there, hit me up. I really want to understand,
theory.
It's theory.
They're
That's
providing
it.
theory.
So you're saying that they're a lecturer.
I'm saying that they're coaching based on theory. I'm not necessarily from experience. And I think most things sound great in theory. Like in theory, you could teach a lot about marketing and customer interaction and so on.
Oh, yeah,
but the reality is very different often. So I don't think what they're doing is wrong. It's just based on theory. And I think as a consumer, you have to make a choice. Would you want a mentor or a consultant or a coach or whatever you want to call it, who is giving you advice based on theory or based on experience?
And if any coaches want to have a little challenge and a bit of fun, maybe we'll do it for charity or something, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we do like a 48-hour challenge, business challenge, right? Lock us in a room, laptop, phone, that's all you have, and you got to start a business, sell, get sales. Because that's all I need is Wi-Fi, laptop, and my phone. I'm ready to go. So if you guys want to do something for charity and make it a bit fun, nah, I don't want to ruin anybody's credentials actually.
God.
So let's not even do that. I'm sorry.
Anyway, just final question for Cory.
Yeah.
Cory, obviously you've been in the office with us for what, 4 years?
5.
Oh, sorry.
5
my bad.
years.
Oh, when's the 5? Maybe we should get you a gift. Anywho,
When's the
5
It
years.
was January this year.
Oh, it was really good. Thanks for 5 years of service.
Did you not get yourself a card?
Yeah. You had the card. You should just pay for the card and the gift.
Come on now, Cory.
It's cool.
Have you
And
never
put our
watched
names
Iron
in
Man?
it. You know how it goes.
To myself, yeah.
Yes,
It's cool.
yeah, from us.
You guys, you congratulated me before. It's cool. It's fine.
Oh, advance congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
I just
good.
don't remember.
Sorry. Anyway, 5 years you've been with us. Do you feel, so we're talking about education here and entrepreneurship, do you feel you've learnt just by being like around us, or have you learnt more? I know obviously now being a part-timepreneur on occasion, what have you learnt stuff from being around us that you would call education?
Well, I actually would be a part-timepreneur if it wasn't for you guys. I mean,
It's not 5 years.
it is 5 years. It's 5 years.
Is that what you spent the time thinking about?
It's 5 years.
No, I was like thinking. I was like 2014. Like it was late summer.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, go on. So give us the
wasn't.
story.
I feel like it was after I came out The Apprentice.
No,
No,
it
he was
wasn't,
away.
it was
It was before.
Yeah, he was away.
Okay, so
Okay.
just 5.
It was literally
Yeah,
just
it's
around
yeah,
that
he's
point.
right.
We
Yeah,
don't need to talk
yeah.
about the ins and outs of that though.
No, we
But,
don't.
We did,
Moving
that
on.
on, we did that on another interview.
But yeah, so I learned how to build websites off the back of actually working on yours. So Bianca, from when we were doing Bianca Miller London, from working on the B Group website, all of that stuff I actually learned how to do it. I never knew how to do it before.
Okay.
So you're saying, so now you've done a couple of freelance clients.
I've actually had about 10 websites, 10, 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've done like 10 websites, learning in our time that we're paying you for.
No, I didn't do it in your time.
No, you learned during our
Okay,
time.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So maybe there's some sort of commission due. And you
commission.
know that he was having a little peek and a peruse at some of his projects during work time. It's natural because his clients would have emailed him during work time.
Yeah.
So you know
I've even helped to some of the emails.
So you know you've had some leakage there. We've had some leakage there in time, babe. So I'm thinking, how much do you charge per website?
Anyway, on that note.
No. Hold on, we need to address this. How much do you charge per website?
It's anywhere between 350 and 500.
Okay, let's just go average 400 times 10, 4 grand, 20%, £800.
Oh God.
I don't know.
How do you feel about that? You can
well,
work it off.
Work it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Work it off. So
I'm not too sure.
Guys,
So-
on that note, I've been Bianca.
And I'm Byron.
And he's.
Corey.
Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.